I mean, I learned a lot about the back end because I was working after the travel agency job. I ended up working as an actual agency, web agency, right? So building or being sent to different clients to solve their problems. So you kind of need to understand everything to be able to solve the problem. You can't just walk in and go, I know the front end and this is what you
Yeah.
should do in front end, because the back end it's coupled together so much. And a lot of them, their front end was back end code,
Hmm.
right? And it's just like it was like, no, you're like a Blazor site, or you're like no, this is not front end. This is like what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had to understand how things are built and etc. So I would learn and understand, but not be able to do. I wouldn't call myself a back end programmer at all, but I understood all the concepts and all the ideas and everything that they were coming through. And I would make sure I went to the conferences that had all those back end talks, so that I would sit in on those and understand what is this, so that I could be the person in the room to be able to have the right conversations and not
Yeah.
kind of go, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I only know this part. I
Sure.
was able to answer those questions, but then put somebody on it that actually knew what they were doing when it came to building the back end, right? And I managed teams in both front end and back end. So it was important for me to know what was going on. But I didn't really have the like, I want to build in .NET or I want to build in Java, because the language was never that important to me. It was
Sure.
more like, I want to build. And I kind of feel like a lot of the jobs I had were not really about like converting code to HTML and CSS
Yeah.
anymore. It was more about solving problems.
Yeah.
Like I was going in and their tech stack was so old, it was outdated. How do we upgrade it? How do we change? Where do we change to? Do we continue in Angular JS? Do we go to actual, Angular 2? Do we move on? Do we change, like, and thinking about those concepts and bringing in like Tailwind come out, I was like, let's start using Tailwind. Why would we use Tailwind compared to everything else? And testing the things out, being sure that you understood the benefits, the problems, a lot of proof of concepts, and then bringing it towards the team and saying, right, this is the way we're going to design websites. And I remember building a Nuxt website for a company and they like nearly had a heart attack. This is a what? You're building like a single page application, kind of static site.
Yeah.
Um, like this should be a HTML page. I don't want a website. I just want a HTML page. Like, no, you don't, because
You don't.
you're you don't. And trying to teach people, like how the web was developing, how the web was going, like evolving. I think it's always being about being at the top of everything, knowing where everything is going and understanding it, and then bringing that knowledge back down to people and trying to bring them up.